Welcome to this explainer. All right, I want you to just picture the scene for a second. A major code rollout is actively deploying right now. The stakes, they're incredibly high. The pressure is totally on. And honestly, the success of this entire release depends entirely on what happens over the next few minutes. It's kind of the ultimate test of your operational calm under pressure, right?
So, you're staring at your screen, the deployment is live, and suddenly tens of thousands of log lines are just flying by every single second. We're talking gigabytes of text that literally no human could ever possibly read. It's just this massive, completely unfiltered data stream. So the big question is, how do you actually watch this chaos without missing that exact single line that matters? The one critical error that tells you something has gone completely sideways.
Okay, let's dive right into the solution here. We're talking about Grafana Loki's live tailing. And look, this isn't just you sitting there furiously hitting refresh on a web page. No, beneath the hood, it's actually a dual website persistent connection. What that means in plain English is that it streams log entries immediately as they hit the Loki ingester, straight to your browser. You get this instant, soft, real-time feedback loop. It's a total game changer.
Think about your traditional toolkit for a second. Standard historical logs generally use a poll model, right? You run batch queries, and you analyze an incident after it's already happened. Basically, retrospective analysis. But live tailing flips that entire concept into a push model. It instantly becomes your primary survival tool during rollouts because it gives you that immediate feedback without all the latency of heavy, traditional full-text indexing. So, how do you actually take control of this? Well, if you want to follow along later on in a demo environment, like Grafana Play, for example, which has the Loki data source ready to go, the path is incredibly simple. First, you just head over to Grafana Explorer. Second, select your Loki data source. Third, you pop in your logql query. And fourth, and this is the absolute crucial step, you just click that live button up in the top right corner. Boom, you are now instantly connected to the live stream.
Now, what's really interesting here is the weapon we actually use to tame that chaotic stream, and that is logql. It's Loki's query language, and it basically works step by step as a noise reduction pipeline. First up, you use a stream selector to narrow the fire hose by labels, so picking your specific app, your environment, or in this case, let's say just the payment service. Then you pipe that right into a text filter. Think of it like a grep-style search, telling it, hey, only show me lines containing the word error. Finally, you throw in a parser expression, like pipe JSON, to structure that data on the fly.
Just imagine the transformation here. Instead of this overwhelming, honestly anxiety-inducing wall of raw text, applying those logql filters gives you this pristine, beautifully color-coded stream of exactly what you need. By limiting the output to just error and critical levels for your specific app and environment, you literally strip away all the chaos. This is the ultimate signal versus noise moment. This is exactly what complete control looks like.
But we can actually go even further. I want to share a quick advanced tip with you that will completely change how you monitor your rollouts. You can combine your live tail stream with a real-time rate metric panel. Just picture a split-screen setup for a second. On one side, you're watching your live, perfectly filtered scrolling logs, and right alongside it, you have this highly reactive visual metric panel.
And suddenly, you see this number just jump on your metric panel, 42. What does that mean? Well, that represents 42 errors per second happening right there in that exact moment. Because Loki so seamlessly bridges the gap between logs and metrics, you aren't just reading a text error anymore. You instantly quantify the actual severity of a live incident. You get to see the spike visually while simultaneously seeing the exact log lines that are causing it. It's incredible.
Let's look at how this plays out in a real-world high-stakes scenario. Let's say a new payment service version, we'll call it Payment V2, is deployed at T0 seconds. Our incredibly confident engineer is already watching the live logs, running a strict filter for just the payment service and error levels. At T15 seconds, that filter is actively slicing through the noise, and then at exactly T30 seconds, they spot it, a critical JSON parsing error scrolling right across the screen. By utilizing this pipeline, they caught a major bug in exactly half a minute. They literally stopped an outage before most users even noticed a blip.
So the crucial point here, and this is a highly practical takeaway for your day-to-day operations, is this. Once you have crafted that finely tuned logql live tail query, the one that cuts through the noise just perfectly, save it. Just save it as a Grafana dashboard panel. If you do this, it ensures that for your very next deployment, your continuous monitoring is already built, it's tested, and it's ready to go with just a single click.
Well, that brings us to the end of our explainer today. When you finally stop fighting the noise and you actually start controlling the stream with Grafana Loki and LogQL, you completely change how you operate under pressure. It's night and day. So I want to leave you with this one thought. When you finally clear away the noise, what hidden signals will you uncover in your next deployment stream?